Hi students, how are you doing today? Well, that's amazing. And now let's dive into our next chapter, which is formulas and functions in Excel. But wait, do you know what is Excel? Well, yes, it is a software which is right there in our computers. There are various softwares in a computer which we use on a daily basis. I'm sure you must have heard about the software Excel, right? Excel is indeed an important software to learn as it opens many opportunities for you. So let's begin by learning what formulas are in Excel. Formulas refer to the instructions given by the user to perform mathematical calculations. In Microsoft Excel, a formula operates on a range of cells and produces a result. It can contain cell references, operators, values, and functions. Here is what all of them mean. So let's see what is the meaning for cell reference first. Generally, these are known as cell addresses or a range of cells. Let's see how it looks like. That's great. Moving forward to operators, they are symbols that guide the specific calculations to be formed, which we even use in mathematics like addition, subtraction, etc. Values can be numeric or string. Now, what is numeric? Numeric values are numbers. For example, 1, 2, 40, 35, and so on. And what about string values? They are information, technology, etc. Functions are built-in formulas in Microsoft Excel to do any calculations like sum, average, minimum, maximum, etc. Let's learn further about formulas. Formulas are used to perform arithmetic calculations such as addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. It establishes a relationship between two or more cells. However, there are certain rules to create a formula. Let's see what are the rules. The first one is that all the formulas should begin with an equal to sign. This is how Excel knows that a cell entry is a formula and not a value. Second is that a formula may include numeric, text values, operators, and cell references. Third is a formula can contain any combination of values, references, operators, and functions. Fourth and lastly is that formulas are not case sensitive. It means that capital and lowercase alphabets perform the same action. Let's move on to entering formulas now. Formulas use operators to perform arithmetic calculation. Some commonly used operators are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are their signs, and here are some examples. Now that you know what to enter, let's learn how to do it, and here are the steps you need to follow to enter a formula. First, select the cell where you want to show the result. Then, type the equal to sign. Then, type in the formula you want Excel to calculate. Here in this example, we will calculate the total of all subjects in the total marks column. The formula to calculate the total marks is this. And finally, press enter. The formula will be calculated and the value will be displayed in the cell as shown below. Let's learn about copying formulas. You can copy a formula to other cells in the worksheet. These are the steps to do it. First, click the cell, source cell containing the formula. Then on the Home tab in the Clipboard group, select Copy. Or you can also right-click the cell and select the Copy option from the Shortcut menu. Third, select the range of cells by dragging the mouse you want the formula to be copied to. Then, on the Home tab, in the Clipboard group, select Paste. Or you can also right-click the cell and select the Paste option from the Shortcut menu. just like how we are doing here. And that's how you copy formulas in Excel. Let's begin with cell reference. The cell address in a formula is known as the cell reference. It refers to a particular cell or cell range in the worksheet. With references, you can use the data in different parts of the worksheet. There are three types of cell references: relative reference, absolute reference, and mixed reference. References behave differently when copied and filled to other cells. Relative reference change when a formula is copied to another cell. Absolute references, on the other hand, remain constant no matter where they are copied. And in mixed, cell reference will keep either the row or column constant. Now we will learn about all these in detail here. Starting with the advantages of cell reference. Cell referencing is used in formulas, functions, charts, etc. The advantages of cell referencing are that, firstly, the formula automatically updates with respect to the cell address. Secondly, copying the formula is very easy. You just need to drag the cursor for copying a formula. Isn't that easy? Let's now look at all three types in more detail, starting with relative reference. By default, all cell references are relative references. When copied across multiple cells, they change based on the relative position of rows and columns. For example, if you copy this formula from row 1 to row 2, the formula will become this. Relative references are convenient when you need to repeat the same calculation across multiple rows and columns. When you create a formula, references to a cell or range are usually based on the position relative to the cell. Here is an example of relative reference. Start by creating a worksheet and enter the data as given. Then enter the formula 2 is equal to C2 into B2. Calculate the total in D2. Then press enter on your keyboard. The formula will be calculated and the result will be displayed in the cell. Once calculated, locate the fill handle in the bottom right corner of the desired cell. Click, hold and drag the fill handle over the cells you want to fill. Lastly, release the mouse. The formula will be copied to the selected cells with relative references and the values will be calculated in each cell. Moving on to the second type of cell reference, which is absolute cell reference. It is used when you do not want a cell reference to change while copying a formula to another cell. You can use an absolute reference to keep a row or a column constant, or keep both row and column constant. An absolute reference is designated in a formula by the adding of a $sign. Remember this, okay? It can precede the column reference or the row reference or both. Here is the example of absolute reference. For this, we will use the absolute cell reference to calculate the VAT value in our formula. Because each formula is using the same VAT price, we want the reference to remain constant when the formula is copied and filled to other cells in column D. Beginning with creating a worksheet and entering the data as given. Next is enter the formula to calculate the desired value. In our example, we will type this formula to calculate the total in D3. Now press enter on your keypad. The formula will be calculated and the result will be displayed in the cell. Finally, locate the fill handle in the bottom right corner of the desired cell. Release the mouse. The formula will be copied to the selected cells with an absolute reference and the values will be calculated in each cell. You can double-click the filled cells to check their formulas for accuracy. The absolute reference should be the same for each cell, while the other references are relative to the cell's row. With that, let's move on to the final type, that is mixed reference. A combination of relative and absolute referencing is called mixed referencing. Isn't that easy to remember? It is either an absolute row and relative column or an absolute column and a relative row. You need to add the $ before the column letter to create an absolute column or before the row number to create an absolute row. Let's consider the following example for this one. Here, you can use a mixed reference to calculate all taxes using just one formula. Enter this formula in cell J4 and copy it for all in column J to get the required taxes for GST1. So starting with creating a worksheet and entering the data as given, then enter this formula in J4, press enter on your keyboard and the formula will be calculated and the result will be displayed in the cell. This is so easy. Let's now look at common formula errors which could go wrong while entering any formula. Microsoft Excel will display an error if the formula is not evaluated accurately. These are a few common errors. Hashtags will appear when a column is not enough or negative time/date is used. Hashtag null is used when you specify an intersection of two areas that do not intersect. Hashtag value is used when the wrong type of operator is used. Hashtag name is used when text is not recognized in a formula. Hashtag n/a, which is non-applicable, is used when a value is not available to a function or formula. And hashtag ref is used when a cell reference is not valid. Let's now learn about the last topic in our chapter, which is functions. As you now know, a formula in a spreadsheet is a mathematical equation used to perform a simple calculation like addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction. To perform such simple as well as difficult calculations, you can use some predefined functions, also known as predefined formulas. One of the key benefits of functions is that they can save time. Excel has hundreds of different functions to assist with calculations. Like formulas, a function starts with an equal to sign followed by the function name, and the range of cells or values is specified inside the brackets. The function name tells Excel what calculation is to be performed. The arguments are contained inside round brackets. Remember the round brackets, okay? Some of the examples of functions are sum, minus, max, count, and average. While using functions, the syntax must be followed for the function to work correctly. Let's see what inserting a function looks like. There are many ways to insert a function. Firstly, you can insert a function by clicking on the function symbol to the left of the formula bar, or you can click on the Insert Function button on the Formulas tab, then choose the required function from the function library. Another way is to type the equal to sign into a cell and type the name of the formula. Then a drop-down menu will appear from which you can select the function. But there, do not forget to put the bracket. Now let's learn about some common functions. First is the sum function. It is the most used Excel function. It sums all the values in one or more ranges. To use it, you enter syntax is equal to sum in the bracket range of values, bracket close, which looks like this. This will calculate the sum of values stored in cell A1 to A10. To calculate the total marks of students in English and Maths, in the given below example, the sum function will be written as this and then copy that in the rest of the cells. This is the output that will be generated. Second is max. This function is used to find the maximum value from a given range of values. To use it, you enter syntax is equal to max bracket, range of values, bracket close. Let's see an example for this one. Third is minimum. This function is used to find the minimum value from a given range of values. To use it, you enter syntax is equal to minimum, which is min, bracket open, range of values, bracket closed. Let's see the example. The fourth one is average. This function is used to find the average of values from a given range. To use this, you enter syntax is equal to average, bracket open, range of values, bracket closed. Fifth and the last is count. This function is used to count the total number of non-blank and non-character values. That is, it gives the count of only the numeric values. To use it, you enter syntax is equal to count, bracket open, range of values, bracket closed. And that is all for formulas and functions in an Excel sheet. Another exciting chapter over and many to go. Even more exciting ones to go. Yes. See you very soon. Bye-bye.